Certainly you look at for things like loops. All loops are bad. All batches are bad. Anytime you go off the mainstream is bad. So we're trying to get a straight flow with no branches in our design. We certainly look for the 7 wastes. Overproduction, wait time, transportation, processing, inventory. These are all the basic wastes that are built in. So in activity 1, we're going to go through that whole cycle of thought pattern of how we address these individual things. And we're going to do it with looking at 12 tasks. Task number 1 is bureaucracy elimination. I like to start with bureaucracy elimination. Everybody hates bureaucracy. Is there any of you out there that wants more bureaucracy? No. I can say that right off the bat. I can't see you, but you've all got your hands up in the air. I know that. Management hates it. The employees hate it. The labor union hates it. Everybody hates bureaucracy. You start off with eliminating bureaucracy. And so I start with this as the starting point, because this gets the excitement going, gets everybody on your side working with it. 42% of the white-collar workers have considered quitting over bureaucracy hassles. 42% of your employees working in your support areas have considered leaving your company because of the bureaucracy that's been built into it. And what we actually do is we convert our flow chart into what we're starting to build now is a rainbow flow chart. And we color in all of the bureaucracy operations in blue. And what we do is, at this point in time, all we ask is, can you cost justify that bureaucracy? What money do you save in doing it? And it's just amazing. I've never been able to go to the controller and have them cost justify signing off on a capital equipment request. And typically that costs 2 weeks in the cycle. We worked with one company, Intel. Their old process to order a ballpoint pen, it required 95 administrative steps, 12 pieces of paper. The new way, 8 administrative steps and 1. Didn't matter if it was you're ordering a ballpoint pen or whether you're ordering a heavy piece of equipment. There was one purchase procedure you went through. Intel estimated that it saved 30% productivity improvement, which related to $60 million a year by focusing on productivity, bureaucracy elimination. To get $60 million equivalent profit, they had to increase sales by $277 million. So truly, attack bureaucracy. Cost, if it isn't cost justified, get rid of it. It's the unfortunate part. What we actually do, we find somebody stealing something, so we put a check in. So we're going to check everybody's briefcase to make sure they're not walking out with a pen. And what we did is we build our processes to penalize the total because we have 0.1% of our people that are dishonest, and the managers don't have guts enough to get up and fire those people that are dishonest. And we can't penalize everybody because of that 0.1%. The next one that we look at is value-added analysis. Here we will look at it in 3 ways. We've got real value analysis. These are the things that the customer wants to pay for. We have business value analysis. These are the things that we need to run our business, but the customer doesn't want to pay for it. A typical example of this, if you got your telephone bill and you saw one line on it that they're going to charge $3 added to your telephone bill to keep records related to vacations of their employees, you say, I don't care whether you keep records or not, but we need to keep records of that. So that's business value added. And no value added, these are the things, these are the inspection, these are the double checks. This is anytime somebody has to sign for somebody else. These are all no value added activities. So this, and if you look at it from the standpoint, any activity, is it necessary from a customer standpoint? If the answer is yes, you look at it from the standpoint, does it contribute to the customer's requirements? If the answer is no, comes over to the side, does it contribute to the business? The answer is no, then it becomes no value added. The answer is yes, then it becomes business value added. So this is a basic thought pattern that we look through in each operation. And what there is, in every company, there's a huge hidden office that accounts for 80% of your total cost. And the real value added is only 20%. This 80% is that business value added and no value added. And truly, you've got to bring up that business value, the real value added, so that it is a major portion. And if you can bring it up to, see, 50%, you're really lucky in most companies. Certainly, there's a number of ways to come up through corrective action. There's creative questioning. There's a value analysis. There's a forced idea realization. There's directed innovation, which is a new technique that we've found very, very effective. It's for every action, there's an opposite reaction that is offsetting every positive with a negative. If you haven't had a chance to look at directed innovation, it's a very effective tool. We really don't have time to go into it right now. What we do is we complete our rainbow chart. This is some of the directed innovation focuses on useful and harmful matters within within your flow chart, and using offsetting things to do it. What we'll actually do with the value analysis, we'll to direct our effort on it. We'll go back to our rainbow flow chart. We color in everything that is no value added in red, everything that is business value in yellow, and green then becomes the real value added. And that makes your rainbow flow chart, which really helps you to focus in. Let's eliminate all the red from it. Let's minimize the yellow, and let's turn it into a green thing. Activity 2 is to eliminate duplication. Certainly, anytime we have to write something twice, that's bad. So how can we eliminate it? And we have these two sets of data. We have production control that says we've processed so many parts, and we have the person on the line that says something different. And when you have conflict between them, you lose time, you lose effort, and you lose credibility. You've got to eliminate duplication all the way through. So you look for any time that you're using that there's two sets of data or two sets of information. Simplification. Oh, wow, this is an important one. That's where the Japanese have really shined, and that's where America has really followed up. Can we make it less complex, less demanding, fewer pages, fewer steps, fewer tasks? That's a huge key. Can we simplify? We have a tendency to want to computerize everything rather than looking at how can we do it simpler and easier. If you look at, it's a simple way that they control stock in Toyota versus what we're doing in GM. Good example. Simplify, simplify, simplify. Is it easier to learn? Can you do it in an easier way? Is it easier to understand? Does it really even need to be done at all? So these are sort of the things that we think about in simplification. One part in electrical organ, they looked at it to make a single sound. It required 163 parts. By going through it and looking at it from simplifying it to create the sound of a violin, we were able to redesign it and simplify the design to the point you could do it with 51 parts. And that's what I'm talking about in simplification. Boeing was able to cut 6 manuals down to one manual that was smaller than any one of the 6. IBM Brazil eliminated 50 procedures, which was 450 forms, 2.5 million documents per year, just by focusing on simplification.